So the first story I want to cover today is about Merryweather Media. They made a post saying, "You want to try writing one of our comics? Reply to this tweet with a script for a 4-panel comic. We will pick one amongst the most liked replies and the winner will receive a free game on Steam and their comic will be illustrated by us. Can't wait to see your ideas." Now, when I saw this, I was stoked. I think there are a lot of people with a lot of great ideas that are simply not given the chance to express them with some banger art. And although I do think it was weird to advertise that you're getting paid with a free game on Steam, I feel like just having Merryweather animate your comics for you is enough payment already, because not only are you getting featured for your work, you're also getting your work illustrated, and that's a service that if you tried to hire them to do for you is something you would probably pay out the ass for. Probably, I have no idea how much Merryweather Media would charge for commission work, but probably not cheap. The service of drawing pays for the labor of writing, you know what I'm saying? And what I find hilarious is that Merryweather Media immediately encountered a problem that you might not have expected. And that is the fact that people keep posting concepts and not scripts. Merryweather Media has replied to so many comments being like, "This is a concept, not a script. I said script." There's one, there's another concept, not a script. There's another concept that's not a script. He's had to reply to so many of these, and I just find that hilarious that nobody knows what the word script means. And I'm not the only one who's noticed this. I love how so many of Mary's replies are just, "This is not a script. Please just write a script. I'm begging you, please write a script." But what I do find strange is there's a couple people who've replied and called it free labor, which confuses me because, as I explained earlier, your labor of writing is rewarded with the labor of drawing. Plus, it's a contest, so if you don't want to provide your labor in exchange for a chance at getting a drawing, you don't have to. That's the fun thing about contests, is that they're voluntary. If he hired a scriptwriter and didn't pay them or tried to pay them in Steam games, that would be a scandal. That would be a massive scandal. If he hired someone under the pretense of paying them and then didn't, that would be scandal. But this is a contest. It's voluntary. And this is not a one-off comment. We've got people saying, "Paying in exposure, we're paying you in Steam games now." Mary replies with, "What's wrong with running a contest?" To which this individual replied, "You really gonna act like you don't make money off of your comics? Tossing someone a gift code you have lying around isn't giving them $60. Also, a single tweet's worth of work is an interesting way to trivialize the work that writers do." It goes on and on and on. And in response to this particular criticism, Mary has said, "Since some people are insisting that I'm trying to make people do free labor by offering them a Steam game rather than cash, please be advised you can also ask for $60 in cash," which I'm assuming is the value of the Steam game that he was willing to purchase for people. But even this didn't satisfy people, as people replied to this updated tweet saying that the problem is that there are people who you aren't going to pay that also aren't going to win and are therefore going to do work for free, regardless of whether or not you use their ideas. So it really sounds like a lot of people just don't like contests. And I guess that's not really something you can convince them of, that a contest is voluntary. So if you just don't want to do free labor for a chance to win a prize, don't. So I don't think Mary is doing anything particular wrong here, and the entire reason he is not doing anything wrong is entirely because it is voluntary to enter. Whether or not he offers no prize, a Steam game, or $60 is completely irrelevant in my opinion. The fact that it is voluntary to participate is exactly what makes this okay, in my opinion. Feel free to leave your comments down below. So the next thing that I want to talk about is a VTuber named Elara, who has a character model that comes in different skin tones. There is, of course, the normal Caucasian skin tone, but she's got purple, red, and green, which nobody seems to have an issue with. Now, while a lot of people had no issues with the tan model or the red, purple, and etc. models, a lot of people did take issue with this particular model, where she had dark skin, very, very dark skin, and were accusing her of blackface. So after being called out for practicing blackface, she responded in this tweet longer saying she wanted to make it 100% clear it was not her intention. And I generally believe that she did not do it with the intention of being offensive. She then goes on to apologize and say she's not going to do it in the future, which I think is fair. If she genuinely did not intend on being offensive, and as soon as she was called out, she immediately reversed course and fixed the issue, I feel like that is a one and done. And I would also like to give props to her for highlighting someone criticizing her. For all the people saying she doesn't need to apologize or we're too sensitive, you need to take a step back and realize that a positive change and someone taking the time to listen to our concerns is not for you to argue. If you are not a minority, you don't really get to pick what minorities get offended by. I hope I have built up enough goodwill over the past year of being vocally anti-cancel culture that my audience will not call me a woke SJW when I tell you, please stop wearing black skin on your character models. If you yourselves are not black, it is irritating. I'm not trying to cancel you. I'm not trying to call you a racist. I'm just saying it's annoying. Please stop. So there's been a bit of an update to the way that YouTube enforces their policy against profanity. And I want to go over that here so that creators and fans know exactly what's going on and so that creators can adjust their content style to avoid being demonetized. So on my channel, as you can see, almost all of my videos are monetized unless I intentionally turned off monetization because I felt like that video didn't need ads, or content sharing because there was copyrighted music in the video. But for the first time, there was a video that I uploaded that had been demonetized. Now this is extremely unusual for my videos because when I first started on YouTube, when I first got monetized, they reviewed the next 20 videos that I uploaded for anything that was not absolutely squeaky clean. Was I, using inappropriate language, adult content, blah, 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 blah. And since the next 20 videos that I uploaded were completely squeaky clean, and they were completely squeaky clean because I uploaded static, I uploaded 15 seconds of silent static so that they would all, of course, be completely innocuous and not hit any of these guidelines. But the benefit of that is that YouTube trusted me so that anytime I said, hey, wow, none of the above, submit rating, it would agree with me and it wouldn't do a whole lot of checking to make sure that there was anything in the video. It would kind of just take my word for it. I would say, hey, there's nothing in the video. And most of the time, it was an outright lie. I would say, no, there's no inappropriate language, and then immediately word vomit a whole bunch of profanity throughout the video and not get demonetized because YouTube trusted me. I fully admit that I kind of scammed the system there, and I've been kind of getting away with using a ton of profanity in my videos. But it appears that that period of time is over, and I know exactly when this policy came into effect. December 29th, I uploaded a video about Andrew Tate, and I opened the video with an onslaught of profanity aimed in Andrew Tate's direction because I don't like him and I'm glad he's going to prison. The entire 2-minute video is almost entirely profanity, just start to finish non-stop cursing. But the following video, Andrew Tate arrest update and full story, I used way less profanity, and this was an actual serious video where I actually go through the details of his case and try to remain as, cogent, coherent, and thoughtful as possible. And that got demonetized, and I was like, well, that's really weird. I've never been demonetized before. In the year that my channel has been monetized, there's been extremely few examples of videos getting demonetized. In fact, I'll even show you if you don't believe me. You'll see there's only one other video that's ever been demonetized on my entire channel, and that was Albinox being used to promote bot channels, and I have no idea why this was demonetized, and I'm like, well, it's a short, it's not making money, I'm not going to bother monetizing a short which doesn't make any money anyway. But it did get flagged for ad suitability. I have no idea why. And that was once in my entire year of being monetized, and now suddenly a very normal news video is getting demonetized? Well, I checked and it said profanity used in the first 8 to 15 seconds, which I was like, well, a lot of my videos have profanity, including the one immediately before it, which had way more profanity. And again, I've been able to get away with that because YouTube trusts my my rating. Like, what's the point of having this, hey, does your video have any of these things in it? why bother allowing me to submit my own rating if you're not going to believe me when I submit my rating? So I'm like, well, why is there suddenly, as of the 30th, a new policy that was not being enforced previously? So I found this Moist Critical video where he goes over the new policy, and I'm just gonna end the video here by having him explain the policy. Those are all of my comments on the situation. Here's some of his comments, and that's basically all I'm gonna say about the issue. You guys have a lovely day.
And I'll let it be known right away here that yes, my channel has been hit extremely hard by this new shadow policy that they've slid into the equation here. The policy is, if you say any swear word or anything less than proper in the first 8 seconds of a video, you instantly get demonetized for it no matter what. There is no wiggle room. If you say anything that's not squeaky clean Weenie Hut Jr. and you let that rip in the first 8 to 15 seconds of that video, well, you're just getting blasted, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, while that's all pretty clear about just not using any profanity whatsoever in the first 8 seconds, it gets a little muddy when it starts talking about a focal usage of profanity throughout the video. It says, such as a mention in every sentence, but that's not exactly how they enforce it. For a lot of the videos that have been demonetized, at least on my side, it's not like I'm going around hitting them with like Saints Row dialogue. It's just very confusing what's actually triggering this new demonetization wave that's sweeping through like a plague.